I think we like to tell ourselves we can separate the art and the artist when we like them. And when we don't, we're
It's
like,
easier. Yeah.
forget about this person. Hey everyone, we're back with another video. We hope you guys are having a great time. We missed you. We wanted to do a bit of a different video today. Today we're going to be talking about
The whole Kanye West situation and cancel culture.
Right. Disclaimer, I'm not a psychologist, not really going to dive into the mental health stuff too much, but we wanted to do something a bit in the news and something that really caught our eye for different reasons. For me, myself, I was a huge Kanye West fan.
And just to touch on the racism stuff, I think because we're an interracial couple, I think it's important, you know, we talk about the fun stuff and we make jokes, like if you've seen our shorts, but we also need to address like these type of issues and, you know, bring light to situations like this and a controversy like this, which you probably are aware of already.
Yeah, right. So I'll start off. I was a huge Kanye fan. I thought, you know, like everyone said, he's this musical genius, this and that. The kind of thing that kind of took me off on him was back in 2018 when he said slavery was a choice.
I think for most people, that was the
Well, you'd be
start
surprised.
of the
There's
downfall.
people still defending him right now.
Yeah.
You know, speaking for myself, hearing that, even though I'm a white man and his comments don't affect me, you know, you hear something like that and you listen to his previous works of music and you're like, you know, you listen to this is the same man who made Jesus Walks is saying slavery was a choice, and not only are they not true, they're extremely hurtful. Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
exactly. No, but that's why I can't defend him. I don't know if we're going into it right away, but I really disagree with people who try to rationalize what he's doing, because this is the same man we're talking about that had like these works of art in the past that denounced the behavior that he's like exhibiting now. You can't drastically change your thoughts like that. I know there's the mental illness, and obviously like you know, I'm sympathetic towards that,
Right.
but there still needs to be some accountability that I don't think people give him.
You know, I think the crux of the issue is that people like Kanye West for what he's created, and some people maybe even like his personality, so they're quick to defend what he says or does. Let's talk about what he actually said this time around.
Right.
So some of the stuff includes really anti-Semitic remarks, some of them that are vague, but obviously when you generalize, that's what gets people so offended, right? And we're also trying to look at reactions to better understand the situation, and a lot of people were saying, you know, if a Jewish individual in the music industry or in the fashion industry harmed you, why not call them out, you know? And for him to say those things so so candidly, like they're not an issue, like he's saying it and he's looking at everyone like, you guys aren't seeing this?
Yeah. It's the lack of like insight and information, and they're so like baseless. Like he's actively saying, like lying, saying things that are contrary to the truth just to be controversial or just to, you know, like it's so unfounded.
Right. I know this person that I follow on Instagram. He's a boxing coach, and he said, do not idolize anyone ever, because they're going to disappoint you. We all know that George Floyd died from someone kneeling on his neck
for 9 minutes
for an extensive amount of time, and he went on this podcast called Drink Champs, and he claimed that George Floyd died from having fentanyl in his system. With that being said, we do see that Kanye is being racist, not towards black people, but he is saying harmful things, but we're seeing the consequences of his anti-Semitism. This last week of October, it seems like Kanye got wiped off the face of the earth. No more Adidas, no more Balenciaga, no more Gap,
Foot Locker,
what else?
LVMH.
Nobody is screwing with this guy anymore.
For good reason. Like,
right, that's what we want to talk about. The next point, like cancel culture, like is cancel culture, a lot of people are saying that what's happening to him is wrong, like they are wiping him off the face of the earth just for speaking his mind.
Yes, I think it is justified. I don't think it's, you know, a magnified issue that he shouldn't be dropped by all these people. Like, I think there needs to be consequence. Like, you can't just go around saying anything that you want, because freedom of speech still has its limitations. Like, or else anybody would just go around saying anything.
Right.
You know, like, I don't think that's a very civil way to behave. Like
Mm-hmm.
we have rules, you know, whether you like it or not, there's rules to like live in a society, to live with other people. Like
Right.
you can't just go around offending people. And it's not like he said some minor things. Like these are really like
Harmful.
historically very rich and like charged comments.
Right. You know, I'm of the opinion that cancel culture at large, a lot of people talk about the woke mob and how bad cancel culture is for society, but I'm of the belief that it's either a very good thing or it doesn't really exist at all. You know, Dave Chappelle has said some very transphobic things and he's not canceled at all. You know, you have some that are canceled for a time, some refuse to apologize, and then when they finally do, for example, I don't even know if he apologized, but Mel Gibson is back in Hollywood. You know, you have Roman Polanski who slept with a minor. These are examples of celebrities doing incredibly terrible things, and they do still stick around. You know, just another example, because we're not talking about, like, even women. Doja Cat did some really weird things. Like, some of them are just too powerful, like TikTok and Doja Cat were too
they
unstoppable.
go ahead. I think Doja Cat like made TikTok soar. Like she's too big to die,
Right.
pretty much. Yeah.
And that makes my point is
big to
that
fail.
some people are too big to fail. Drake, for example, there's that
Yeah.
footage of him groping a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, even when they do terrible things, some of their fans refuse to cancel them. So I have a hard time feeling like this is unfair to Kanye West, because personally, I think it's a long time coming. It's freedom of speech, it's not freedom of consequence. And also Kanye represents these brands that don't want to be labeled as anti-Semitic. You're left with this kind of case where, like, you know, I myself, just going back to Kanye in 2018 when he said slavery was a choice, I'm asking myself, can I separate art from the artist? For some things I can. For like the stuff I really liked, I'd keep listening to, but I kind of stopped listening to him after that, and I haven't really listened to a full album.
It might contradict a bit my opinion with cancel culture, that I do agree with it, but I think you can, in certain instances, separate the art from the artist, or else like we wouldn't really be able to enjoy anything. Like, you know, the things we like and the amount of celebrities that are not problematic or that are not like, you know, canceled. There's very few, I find, and it's
Ariana Grande,
unproblematic
I think.
so far.
Yeah, that's
it's like
it.
they might do something. That's the thing.
And that's, I myself, like, you know, I'm really into boxing, and like, I gotta be honest, some of these boxers are absolutely terrible human beings, but that doesn't necessarily stop me from watching some of their fights.
I do still listen to like Doja Cat's music.
Right. And the stuff she said was very off-brand, and it was more of a self-hatred thing, right? I'd rather you talk about it than she was.
With the neo-Nazis, and she was showing her feet and saying that like
The white side of her is like the good side, and meanwhile she says the N-word
extensively
in her song. It's like, who's next?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, your fave. Who's your fave? You said you don't worship any celebrities. I know some she likes. She really likes Ryan Destiny or Justine Skye. I personally don't think. I think we like to tell ourselves we can separate the art and the artist when we like them, and when we don't, we're
It's
like,
easier.
who's my favorite actor? I think Daniel Kaluuya is my favorite actor.
Yeah.
If he said like, I f***ing hate white guys from Montreal, I don't know, like that would be a tough one for me to swallow.
It's human nature though, because we always put things that, like, it's the endowment bias, you know, like when you like something or when it pertains to you or when it's like when you own it, you always put it on a pedestal, like yeah, they're bad, but you know, like you'll find ways to circumvent. And
but there's some people you spend so much time growing up with,
exactly,
like a Bill Cosby. I'm sure some of these people, they're like, I grew up with this man is a part of my family. And just like when family does something terrible, it's easier to forgive and forget. We do get hypocritical because we have these attachments to artists. They're not just artists to some. They're more than that. All that said, we want to know how you feel about this. You know, are you guys able to separate the art from the artist? What do you feel about Kanye? You know, like I said, we didn't touch about the mental illness thing really. All I could say really is that personally, I don't feel like that's a good excuse.
Me neither.
I have people with mental illness in my family. They're not saying anything anti-Semitic.
And the fact that he refuses to take his medication, like, I find he's using it.
He's glorifying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mental illness, which if you are mentally ill or know anyone with mental illness, it's not something they glorify. It's something they suffer from.
Yeah.
So yeah, we all have someone that we try not to idolize, but we can't help it because they touch us in a certain way. That's kind of like
the takeaway.
If something bad does come out, you do need to ask yourself if you're comfortable defending a person who's done terrible things. Are you that firm with your morals and your values? If you are, like, I congratulate you, like, drop some knowledge, tell us how you do it.
Okay.
And she might cancel me.
Okay.
When this video ends.
Yes. I'm gonna beat him up after
That's funny.
That's what we should be saying.
Marital abuse. You see, I'm getting nervous. I'm talking weird.
Okay, man.
If I got some lumps next video, you know why. Okay, gotta go.
Bye.